Hello everybody and welcome back to my YouTube channel. So if you're new here, the type of videos and content I create are my documented series as an entrepreneur. We get to learn from all my wins and all my losses. So if you're looking for a YouTube channel to learn how to make money on your own terms, this is going to be the perfect YouTube channel for you. So be sure to subscribe, turn that bell notification on, and turn the like button blue. But nonetheless, getting right into this episode, as you guys can see from the prior episodes, we finally got to the point where we repaired the transmission and finally installed the transmission. Now you get to see us begin to work on the inside of the RV and also repair the generator of the RV, and the RV, part of the generator ends up catching on fire. But either way, let's get into today's episode. Alright, so if you remember from before, the actual gear shift lever was getting stuck, so I want to see if it goes in drive now. Yeah, see, it's still stuck. See, it doesn't want to go in drive. That's good though. So I'm speculating that there's something to do with the shift linkage because maybe I took it off wrong and put it back on incorrectly. So I'm gonna go ahead and check that out. Tyler's gonna try to shift up and down on the gear lever, and I'm gonna see what the shift linkage actually does. You can see too, I found out that has a small leak on the oil pan. It probably just has to get tightened on this side, unless it's cracked, which would suck. But go, Tyler. Yeah. Oh, really? Yeah. It's lovely. Alright, so it's another day here in the trials and tribulations of this RV. I still can't figure out how to put it into drive. So what I'm doing now is I'm going to go ahead and check all the fuses and also check the brake light switch and check the steering column out. I'm going to go ahead and take this apart. There's a fuse box underneath where my feet are at that I'm going to check all the fuses on there as well. What I did last night was I actually completely disconnected the shift linkage from the transmission, and it still won't go into drive. So that means that the problem actually isn't isolated to the transmission, since the transmission shift linkage is completely off. So that means that there's a result somewhere between the steering column and the shift linkage that the problem is occurring at. So right now I'm just going to try to do some diagnosis and try to figure out what I can see a possible problem and a possible solution so we can get this thing in drive. After about 2 hours of some more trials and tribulations, we got it to work. So I put the key in, I put it in, see, it goes in reverse, neutral, drive, 2, but nonetheless it goes all into gears. You can see I took the whole entire thing apart on the bottom. What it ended up being was this shift linkage. You can see this linkage right here. I had it completely off, but the problem was this piece right here. This is what needed to be adjusted, and for whatever reason it needed to be adjusted. So we adjusted that, and now it's shifting into all gears. I gotta put this nut back onto the shift linkage and it should be ready for a drive. The last thing left is Tyler's gonna check out the dipstick to see how much tranny fluid is actually in there. What are your predictions? Full. Damn! That shit got dunked.
I can't even tell where the line's at. It looks full all the way. Oh,
yeah,
here, look.
Yes. No, because you didn't protrude past it. It takes 17 to 18 quarts. The whole entire thing was emptied.
How many
Maybe
quarts
we just
did
gotta
you put
drive
in?
a little bit. We put 18 or 17. Fuck it. Okay, so right now is the moment of truth, as Tyler said. Will it blow or will it go? Will it blow or will it go? So we're gonna turn it on. Right now is the first time we're gonna drive it, and we'll see what happens. There you go, driving. So far it appears like the car is working completely good. We drove it for like 30 seconds, but I'm gonna check to see if there's any leaks. So far, so good. Yeah, we back. The video of us initially driving the RV got deleted for whatever reason, but nonetheless, the RV is running really good so far. I noticed it does smoke a little bit from the transmission. I think it just has to do with the excess transmission fluid that may have spilled in the past on the engine or whatever the case may be. But right now we're gonna go ahead and get some gas for the RV. Also, I'm gonna go ahead and put that cover back on because it's getting really hot. It literally was like burning. But right now Tyler's gonna drive the RV and we can get that reaction going too.
Does it matter besides looking at the children in a minute?
Yeah. Let me adjust this one.
Ready?
Mm-hmm. functioning, baby. Damn. So the cover's been completely put back on. Tyler's driving the whip now. Like I said, it was smoking earlier, but right now we're gonna go to get some gas. Hopefully get the generator working today. But right now our next mission is just to make it to the gas station. We made it. Now we're putting in gas. There's big bro.
Ready?
Set.
Working? Active?
No leak. No leaks. Right now what's going on is when I try to start it, it actually won't start, so watch. So I already have it apart. There's normally an air box that goes here. What I did do initially is I took this fuel line off to see if it's getting fuel. I also sprayed some starter fluid inside of it, and it seemed to run for quite a bit on the starter fluid. The funny part is that actually this caught on fire yesterday. I was spraying starter fluid inside of here, and when I was trying to start it, the fuel pump started working and spraying fuel everywhere. So it sparked, and it literally ignited the whole entire thing on fire. It literally was so crazy. I dumped a bunch of water on it, it didn't go out, and Tyler was able to damp it out with the towel. Literally, I thought the whole entire RV was gonna go in flames. It was literally the craziest thing, but nonetheless, I'm gonna go ahead and try to figure it out. Fuel pump is working, so what I'm speculating is that the carburetor just needs to be cleaned. So what I'm gonna go ahead and do is I'm gonna remove all these bolts, and then I'm gonna take this whole entire carburetor out and clean all the jets inside of it, clean the bowl out, and see if I can get this thing started. The carburetor is completely off. It was actually super easy to take off. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take the whole entire thing apart. So I'm gonna take this bowl off, and then there's jets inside that I need to clean. So this whole entire thing is gonna get cleaned. Hopefully after this is completely cleaned out with some starter fluid, it'll go ahead and start with some clean fluid inside. So I got the carburetor for the most part completely apart. You can see this is the screw for the bowl. This also is the jet for the bowl. There's another jet for the bowl as well, or actually goes to the top of the carburetor. But these are all different jets. So what happens is that when carburetors sit for a really long time, there ends up getting gunk inside of the carburetors. You can kind of see the gas on this one a little bit. Don't mind the dirty fingernails, but you can see that it looks like an orangish color. So that's what happens when gas actually stays stagnant for a long time. I mean, this RV is a 92, so you can imagine when the last time this generator was used, it has actually really a small amount of miles on it. What happens is that these jets end up getting clogged, and you can see with this one, you can't even see through it, meaning that this needle is clogged with either gunk or whatever the case may be. So what I'm gonna go ahead and do is I'm going to get all of these and go ahead and spray some carb cleaner in them. I wasn't able to get the actual bowl off the carburetor. For some reason, it's completely like seized on there. You can see that there's a dent on it and stuff. But I'm gonna go ahead and clean everything inside and out, just spray the whole entire thing down pretty much, and try to get all these as clean as possible so I can go ahead and put this back on, and hopefully the generator will start and run like normal. So I was able to actually get the bowl off as well. It actually completely just came unseized. So what happens is that when this whole entire float bowl fills up, this float or this little buoyant thing has this needle on it, and when it gets filled up, it actually pushes the needle down inside of this, which prevents any fuel from getting inside the carburetor, which I guess is when the carburetor is flooded. So that's good to know, but I'm gonna go ahead and finish cleaning this up. This jet seems pretty clogged. I'm gonna see if I can get like a needle and put it inside of it to get it completely cleaned out, but for the most part, it's going really well. So everything's been completely put back on for the carburetor. All right, fuel line's back on. You can actually tell this is a fuel line because it's a hard line. It goes to this pump here. This is like a little fuel pump for the generator. Before it caught on fire, this wasn't spraying any fuel. And when I was spraying this starter fluid onto it, fuel pump started working, started spraying fuel as well with the starter fluid, and it backfired through the carburetor and caught all this shit on fire. So it was pretty crazy, but now everything's put back together. I'm gonna go ahead and try to start it and see what happens. Woo! Let's go! See, not yet at least. Maybe it needs some time to, unless the breaker is on. It's working. Caution when flashing. That's not good. All the breakers are on. Need to do fuel line. So I actually got some replacement hose for this. This was actually cracked somewhere, so it was leaking some fuel on the fuel line. So what I'm gonna go ahead and do is I'm just gonna go ahead and cut this to size and then go ahead and put it back on so there's no problems with any leaking. And then I'm gonna go ahead and check the inside to see if everything's working out on the inside. The generator's working good now. It seems to be running pretty well. You can hear it in the background. What I gotta figure out next is how to turn this microwave on. I think somewhere it's unplugged, but you can see now that the AC actually works. Bada bing, baby! Woo! Hear that? All right, hold up. AC seems to be working, which is good. Generator's working really well. Another thing I want to figure out too is how to make this water heater work. It's an electrical water heater. Let me see if the refrigerator's working. I think it is. Yep, refrigerator's working. It's pretty cold. Now I just gotta figure out what some of these switches do. Like, I don't know what that shit does. I'm gonna look around a little bit and try to figure it out. What do you think about the generator working?
Fucking amazing.
AC works, transmission works. Right now we're trying to figure out how to get this thing working. You can see the inside light turns on, so something works. I don't know. AC is working really well. It's blowing really cold air, which is good for the potential buyer. Tyler brought this extension cord so we can plug in the water heater, and the water heater turns on. So that's also good news. We just got to figure out how to get this working, and right now we're gonna start throwing the stuff away. That's came extra with the RV. That's the ladder that actually goes on top. Looks pretty cool. But we're gonna get all this foam and throw all this foam away and just start cleaning up in here a little bit. Looking way better. I was thinking, I mean, if we had like wood stuff, we could probably build something right here, like a rectangle thing for like a little like leeway, and put like a foam, some kind of like bookshelf or something. You know what I mean? That'd be cool. But we don't have carpentry tools, at least not yet. Pretty spacious, huh?
Yeah, it's pretty long enough too.
Tyler is trying to take the microwave out so we can go ahead and inspect it further and try to get that display working and the microwave working. Want me to unplug that? Yeah, so I guess that's what that doesn't look that bad. That outlet has to work because the light was on the inside. So we got the microwave apart right now. What we're gonna go ahead and do is there's a fuse right here that is the first thing that we gotta check. It's the first time I've seen the fuse that looks like this. It's like a cylinder. I have a multimeter here and I'm gonna go ahead and test this main fuse for continuity. So this is the fuse that we're gonna go ahead and test out. What I'm gonna go ahead and do is I'm gonna test it for continuity with this multimeter. I'm going to put both of the ends on it to see if the circuit's completed. And if the circuit's completed and the fuse is not blown, that means that the multimeter will beep. So what we want is for it to not to beep, because then it'd be a super easy fix. We just have to get a new fuse for it. But nonetheless, we're going to test it out and see what happens. Here you go. So that means that the fuse is not blown. Something else. Which sucks, because I don't know what the problem could possibly be. So we're just gonna go ahead and throw this microwave away. We found the same exact microwave down at Home Depot for 70 bucks. We'll probably try to get some other things like some bedding for that bed in the back, and try to get some more curtains maybe. But for the most part, we're gonna buy that new microwave so we can go ahead and put that new microwave in and have it functioning. All right, so we're coming out of Home Depot. We got a few supplies for the RV. We got a knob for the counter. I'll show you when we get back. We also got a new microwave that was about 70 bucks. And then we went ahead and customized this board for the top of the bunk bed, and we actually got the measurements for that down at the RV. Came here to Home Depot and got it custom made for us. So we gotta go get some more backsplash for the kitchen, and then we also have to get, what else do we have to get?
Shower curtains and cleaning supplies.
Shower curtains. What are we gonna get today though?
Today?
Oh yeah, and the wallpaper.
Yeah, the wallpaper.
And the wallpaper. Target.
Say action.
Action.
All right, we got the microwave.
We just got back from Home Depot. We actually went to Target too. We got this wallpaper for the back. So we're gonna go ahead and cover this wallpaper in the bathroom with this, and the back room with this wallpaper as well. Let me see if I can show you guys what it looks like. That's what it's gonna look like right there. It's a pretty like neutral type of wallpaper, which is what we wanted. Tyler right now is unboxing the microwave so we can fit it right here. Also too, we got this board. We're gonna go ahead and try to fit it up right here. So here is what we got the measurements for, and we're gonna go ahead and put this board there so we can fit the ladder up there. Looks like a fit. Looks a lot better too. Looks more modern.
The other one was, it didn't allow you to put a number at a time. It just said 10 seconds, a minute, and something else.
This one looks a lot more legit, dude. See that it actually completely works versus the other one. This is a lot more slim too, which I like how it looks on the face right here. But now the next thing that we got to figure out is exactly how we're going to secure this, so when the RV is moving around, it won't go ahead and fall out. So what we're thinking is drilling some holes underneath this plywood where the legs sit, and maybe figuring out a way too to have like a back stopper or something. But we got to figure out a way to make this stay still, which shouldn't be too difficult. But everything's coming together. This too as well just got replaced. This was the old one. It looks like a little kid princess set knob thing.
Exactly what I was thinking.
Yeah, looks a lot better. And then, do you want to put this on, Tyler?
Yeah.
And down. So now we're gonna go ahead and test fit it and see if it fits. The measurements were correct. Looks like it fits. Want to put the ladder in there? Let's try her out. There it goes. It's legit.
Legit.
This is pretty much a wrap. That is a wrap for today's episode. As you guys can see, we've been making lots of progress on the RV up to this point. We've come a long way from the transmission blowing up to where we're at now. But either way, in the next upcoming episodes, you can see us to continue to renovate and work on the inside of the RV and get it ready to sell. If you guys enjoy this series, be sure to subscribe. I post lots of stuff about entrepreneurship in general. But either way, I'll see you guys on the next one.